of 38. For 1 March 13th, high is 56, low is 36, 0% chance of precipitation. Terrain. Rugged woodlands with vegetation and rolling terrain. Gives limited maneuvering capabilities. There is a creek that dissects AO Jaguar from the northwest to the southeast. Friendly, 2 levels up. 167 Combined Arms Battalion deploys to AAID on 1 March 13 to conduct stability ops in order to clear SAPA insurgents and prevent enemy forces from infiltrating the Ethiopian border. 1 level up. Charlie Company deploys to southern Ethiopia no later than 01-12-15 March 13th to interdict movement of SAPA forces in order to maintain AAID integrity. Adjacent unit. 1st Platoon deploys to southern Ethiopia 1 March 13 in order to conduct stability ops. Attachments and detachments, none. Civilian considerations, none. Enemy. SAPA are well-trained forces which are very familiar with the AO. They travel in groups of 2 to 3 lightly armed men with machine guns, RPG-17s, and AK-47s. They will work to destabilize the government through intimidation and terrorist acts on soft targets. Mission. Charlie Company, 2nd Platoon, conducts deployment to southern Ethiopia in dismounted combat patrols in vicinity grid Lima Sierra 9er17 9er51 no later than 01-12-15 March 13 in order to maintain AAID integrity and clear SAPA insurgents to prevent enemy infiltration of Ethiopia. I say again, Charlie Company, 2nd Platoon, conducts deployment to southern Ethiopia and dismounted combat patrols in vicinity grid Lima Sierra 9er17 9er51 no later than 01-12-15 March 13th in order to maintain AAID integrity and clear SAPA insurgents to prevent enemy infiltration of Ethiopia. Execution. Commander's intent. The commander's intent to successfully stage Charlie Company in the TTB. Purpose. In order to prepare for follow-on missions. Key tasks. Number 1. Pre-deployment operations, PCC, PCI. Number 2. Deploy no later than 01-12-15 March 13. Number 3. Conduct dismounted combat patrols. Number 4. Occupy and secure the TTB in vicinity grid Lima Sierra 9er17 9er51. Number 5. Include composite risk management in all we do. End state. Provide a safe and secure environment for transition of Ethiopian security responsibility. Concept of the operations. This is a 3-phase operation. Phase 1, pre-combat operations and movement, which ends with arrival to training area 14. Phase 2, dismounted combat patrols, and with the arrival at the TTB. And Phase 3, occupy and secure the TTB. Scheme of maneuver. Please put down your pen and paper and let me orient you to my SAM table. Here we have the north-seeking arrow. So north is in this direction. We are currently located here at Galloway Hall. We are in Phase 1 of the operation. We will conduct PCCs and PCIs. We will meet back up tomorrow at 10:20. We'll have a formation here, do all the final PCIs before we move out. We will load the buses at 1200 and move out no later than 1215. We will take this route coming down this small street right here. That is Catherine Street right behind you. You'll travel down Catherine Street. You'll take a left at that 4-way stop sign, which also, when you take that left, that is still Catherine Street. And then you'll take a right on McDowell. We're very familiar with this from our run route recons. You'll travel down McDowell, take a left on Highland Avenue, travel down Highland Avenue until you reach Gordon Highway. You'll take a right on Gordon Highway, travel down until you come to Jimmy Dias. You take a left on Jimmy Dias, go in Gate 1 of Fort Gordon. At that point, it turns into Chamberlain Avenue. Follow it down, take a left on 25th Street and come down 25th. And it's going to turn into Range Road over here. We're going to follow that around. Once we arrive here, that is the end of Phase 1. Movement to TA-14, arrival ends Phase 1. We'll begin Phase 2 when we're dropped off outside the TTB, and we'll conduct dismounted combat patrols in Training Area 14, which is this whole area right here. All right, what you see here in the middle is a creek that dissects the training area. Of our operations, that is serving as the AAIB, that is the Iranian Ethiopian International Border. So we'll be conducting ops on both sides of the creek, but our dismounted combat patrols for phase 2 are going to take place on this side. Once we complete dismounted combat patrols, we're going to, after that's complete, that is the end of phase 2. We'll move into phase 3, which is occupying and securing the TTB. If you look up here, I have a blown up TTB. We're going to be entering here through gate 2. When you come in through gate 2, you'll notice that the only other entry or exit point is gate 1 at the top. Alright, we've got guard towers in all of the corners. I've named them Guard Tower Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta, so that when we do force protection ops for tomorrow, we can know which one is which. Guard Tower Alpha is located near the porta-johns. The porta-johns are located outside of the TTB, so you'll have to exit out gate 1 and come out and around the porta-johns. Next to Guard Tower Alpha, there is a shoot house where we'll be conducting training. Over by Guard Tower Bravo, these are our sleep tents. We'll be sleeping in these 4 tents by squad integrity. 2-1 in these 2, 2-2 in these 2. The recon we weren't able to see through the recon how big the tents were, so we may only end up using 2 of the 4 tents, and that'll be based on when we actually occupy. Our adjacent unit will be sleeping in these 4 tents, first platoon. We will be sleeping male, female, so we'll keep squad integrity. Male change tent will be located here, female change tent will be located there. Our op order process tent is here. That's where we'll be conducting all of our op orders and change of command. Vehicle staging area is here. The DFAC, the most important part of this operation, located near Guard Tower Delta. Guard Tower Charlie is located near the cadre tent. When we arrive to the TTB, we're gonna occupy it, and leadership from day 0 and day +1 is going to the op order process tent to go ahead and do our changeover, and that will end phase 3. At that time, our platoon is going to be responsible for downloading out A-bags, and that's going to be our vehicles are going to be staged here, so that's where we'll go to download the A-bags, and that will end phase 3. This time, please pick up your pen and paper and continue to copy my op order. Coordinating instructions. Timeline. 28 February 2013, 1300 to 1500. Lab. Breakdown for lab is as follows. We've already issued the warno, and I am currently briefing. Immediately after I issue my op order, you will turn around and issue that op order to your squads. After that, we'll be collecting vehicle infos, distributing MREs and land navigation packets. You will brief your squads, then we'll PCI by platoon. We'll mark the bags, the A-bags and the rucks, and tie all loose gear. And you'll complete at 1500 with an AAR and dismissal. Following lab, 1500 to until complete will be self-preparation for deployment to Atropia. He's switching over. My timeline is posted on the back of this, and it will be posted for you, but I'm just reading it so you can talk it through. So that'll be self-preparation to prepare deployment to Atropia, so that's preparation, getting homework done, making all arrangements prior to departure. At 10:20, we'll be fall-in formation at Galloway Hall, which time we'll issue all the paintball guns, the masks, and all the last-minute PCIs that we need to do. We'll load the buses by 1200 hours and be moving no later than 1215 for deployment to Southern Atropia. We will be on bus number 2 in order of march for our convoy. We'll then deploy to South Atropia. From 13:15 to 17:15, we will conduct dismounted combat patrols. From 17:15 to 17:45, we will occupy the TTB. From 17:45 to until complete, we'll do the AAR and the orders process. From 1800 to 1845, will be chow operations. 1845 to 2000, squad level PCCs and TLPs. 2000 to 2200, 4 rotations of TTB training. 2200 to 2400, TTB op/force protection. From 0001 to 0500 is the rest plan, which will include fire guard, with 1 roving fire guard per platoon. Scheme of fires. Phase 1, none. Phase 2, Charlie Company is first in priority of fires during Phase 2. Phase 3, priority of fires goes to Bravo, then Alpha, and then Charlie Company, R Company. Task to subordinate units. Squad leaders. You are to appoint team leaders. They'll be responsible for many things in your absence while we're getting the op orders process. They will also be in charge of getting chow for leadership because, as you can see, our chow time is during the op order process. So those team leaders need to be appointed today. I need to know who they are. They'll get chow for leadership. ID personnel not staying for the duration of the deployment. You'll place it on the sheet that I gave you. Get vehicle tag info for personnel leaving their vehicles at GRU. That also goes on the same sheet. Conduct PCI on 28 February for, let me orient you over here. You're going to be checking for poncho, wet weather top, wet weather bottom, polypro top, polypro bottom, 3 pairs of socks, fleece cap, gloves with inserts, knee and elbow pads, eye pro, reflective belt, their land nav packet, which they're going to get today, and a compass if they have it. They're also going to be PCIing their worn equipment, which Ms. Yano is demonstrating. This is what they're going to show up with at 10:20, and this is how they're going to load the bus. We're going to put their A-bags on the trailer, but they will load the bus with their rucksack, ready to go for dismounted combat patrols once we arrive. So they're going to be wearing LBV, rucksack, PC, eye pro, gloves, knee and elbow pads, and they will get their paintball gun and mask tomorrow morning. Thank you, ma'am. Ensure all bags are marked. ID heat, cold injuries, allergies, and mark appropriately. Report all of these to me on the sheet. Get phone numbers for each of your squad members. Upon occupation of the TTB, make a roster of who is staying in your tent. Once at the TTB, 2nd Platoon is responsible for downloading the A-bags by platoon. So you need to make sure your team leaders know that, as we'll be in the op orders process. And you will turn in a paintball equipment list to me tomorrow, no later than 01/11/30, March 13, and I have that sheet for you. Risk reduction control measures. With paintball guns, maintain muzzle control at all times. Hydrate and be cognizant of the rolling terrain and footing. CCIR, death and injury of cadets, accidents, suicide attempts, loss of sensitive items, severe weather, and hunters in the AO. Rules of engagement are going to be in accordance with your dismounted combat patrol op order. Uniform information is as Ms. Yano demonstrated it, 8 CUs with LBV with full canteens, knee and elbow pads, PC, boots, pen, paper, rucksack, and equipment for dismounted combat patrols. Op order is effective now. My platoon sergeant will now brief paragraph 4. Sustainment.
Good morning, Cadet Eskelson, Augusta State University. Sustainment paragraph is as follows. Logistics, Class 1 cycle, Mike Alpha, day 1. The order of chow is going to be 1st platoon and then 2nd platoon. So 2nd platoon, 1st squad will go first, 2nd squad will follow. The next morning, Class 1 cycle, Alpha Mike Alpha. Order of chow will alternate. 2nd squad will go first, 1st squad will go 2nd. So 2nd platoon will be first for chow the 2nd day. And then on day 3, it will rotate back to 1st platoon will be first, but 2nd platoon will go 1st squad and then 2nd squad for dinner. Dinner will be from 1800 to 1845, and as your platoon leader mentioned, we're going to have to cover down for leadership who are in the tent, so you'll need to get a chow plate for them. There is Class 6 is none, so remind your Joes to bring their own foot powder, pokey bait, and hygiene kit. Transportation, we'll be moving by 2 chalks on the bus, and then on LPCs, our boots, so you need to have a change of socks with them. Health system support, 3 air horn blasts will equal an emergency. Cadre will be notified in the event of loss of life, limb, or eyesight. Call 911, notify cadre. Sick call will be available by way of Captain Rivera. Also notify cadre and squad leadership of sick call. For today, maintenance issues for DXing need to be run through the chain of command as soon as possible. so that we can get these soldiers in the proper gear for the field training exercise.
Cool, thank you, Mr. Rasmussen. Command and signal. Command. Cadet BC, APMS, and SMI will be located on site at the TTB. Succession of command. Myself as PL, followed by Mr. Eskelson as platoon sergeant, Mr. Fitzgerald as first squad leader, Mr. McClinton as second squad leader, Miss Yano, Mr. Hamer, and then MS level by rank and time in service. Control reports. Accountability, heat and cold injuries, green 2, which is sensitive items, allergies, and injuries. Signal. Command post located in the TTB. Motorola's and cell phones per the alert roster. 3 air horn blasts means emergency. Zip ties. For heat injuries will be red zip ties. For cold injuries it will be blue zip ties. And for allergies it will be yellow zip ties. Time now is 13:30. What are your questions? There are no questions at this time. I will conduct a back brief. Mr. Fitzgerald, what is our mission?
Mission. First squad, last squad, conduct TTB ops on site, vicinity grid Lima Sierra 917151, no later than 151410, March 1.
Roger. Mr. McClinton, walk me through phase 1 of the operation, please, sir.
Phase 1 is here at Galloway where we're going to do our PCCs and PCIs. And after this, we're going to go to my squad, make sure they have everything.
As you were, phase 1 doesn't end until we arrive, so phase 1 runs into tomorrow. We'll meet up at 10:20 and includes our movement. Phase 1 ends once we arrive outside the TTB. Alright, this completes my off-order brief. This time, you'll have time to prepare yours, issue your warno to your squads, prepare your brief, and then you will brief your off-order.
Roger that, man.
Yeah,